I'm gonna switch out my headphones real quick.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know which side is right or left or if it matters, but
Do I sound backwards?
holy cow!
Oh, too
It's
loud?
loud.
Oh,
All
I'm
right.
sorry. I know that hurt and I know it shouldn't be funny, but that really just caught me off guard.
Welcome to episode 20 of the Adventure Lives On podcast.
As we wrap up season 1 of the podcast with our last episode of 2025, we'll also be wrapping up our behind the scenes deep dive into the making of all of the Grinch movies. And we'll be talking a little bit of Cat in the Hat, some potential ideas for new rides we'd like to see at Seuss Landing, and toward the end of the episode, a little bit of insight into what's to come next year and our plans for the future of The Adventure Lives On. Buckle up
Grab your cup of coffee
and get ready to live the adventure
in the Universal theme parks and beyond.
All right.
Hey,
Hey,
I am excited about this episode,
me too.
and I'm ready for it. I got,
Oh no.
I got my Grinch shirt, if it'll show it. I don't think it wants to.
Oh yeah, feeling grinchy. Love it.
Thanks.
I'm not dressed any kind of special today. My one Grinch shirt is done for the week.
That's okay. You had yours last week, so it all bounces out.
Yeah. I completely forgot to pull up my notes though, so it should only take me a second.
Okay. I'm looking
I-
forward to this because I think I mentioned to you I did a little more research on a couple things outside the
Yeah.
movie.
I'm really excited to hear what you came up with.
I think you're gonna like it if you haven't heard about it before.
There we go. Oh, did have my notes. Where'd they go? There they are. All right, cool.
Okay.
Ready to go.
Yeah. Did you have anything else in particular you wanted to touch on from your notes?
I have just a few things. Which this one I've seen a lot of places before, so it's not super new, but the crown that Martha May Whoobie wears, the jewels on the
Mm-hmm.
crown came from the Christmas present that Grinch made her that he smashed up.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
Ah, cool. All right.
I guess that makes sense though, because there were a lot of little things throughout the movie of her
Mhm.
kind of letting on that she was still into him.
Yes.
Like I still do. I love that moment where she's like, "Did I have a crush on the Grinch? Of course not." And Cindy Lou's like, "I didn't ask you that."
Love that. Um, now, this I saw online, but when I rewatched the movie a couple days ago, I don't know that it's true. It said online that at the end of the movie, when they're having Christmas dinner, Cindy Lou gives Max green eggs and ham.
Yes,
It to me, it just looked like the roast beast.
the yolks of the eggs were green.
I didn't see it.
The ham was regular ham, but the
Mhm.
eggs were green, from what I could tell.
I did
I
not
had that in my
see.
notes as well. I saw in a shot in one of the videos that I had watched talking about behind the scenes facts, they had kind of paused on that shot of them all sitting down
Okay.
at the feast, and it looked like the eggs were green, but the ham was regular ham.
I didn't pause it. I knew it was coming. It's let me watch and see if I can see the green eggs and ham. And it in the quick shot that passed,
Mm.
I missed the eggs altogether. I only
Okay.
saw the ham. Oh.
I actually did see another, along with that, I saw a behind the scenes clip that I thought was really funny of the dog kind of like getting up a little too far onto the table and trying to get at everybody else's food. And then
Oh.
somebody, I guess it was Ron Howard, like the dog kind of reaches for another plate and you hear somebody going, "No, Kelly, no, get off the table."
Can't blame her.
Yeah. You put all that food in front of her and tell her to just sit and stare at it.
Could you imagine an animal on the set in the Great Hall?
Oh, I guess they're lucky it was just owls.
Yes. Yes. The three more things. I saw this one video that said there were over 40,000 or around 40,000 individually generated, CGI generated trees in the opening scene.
I did have that on my list as well. Yeah.
That is nuts.
Yeah, it's like after as they zoom into the snowflake and then you get the wide shot of the mountain with Whoville in the
Hmm.
distance. Yeah, over 40,000 digital trees. And all the effects were done by a company called Digital Domain. And there's actually about 40 or so minutes of the movie that are entirely digital shots
What?
from all, the wide shots or like, crowd shots of the
Hmm.
Who's.
Hmm.
Apparently, there were around 600 total VFX shots in the movie. And to save on the time and money of having prosthetics for every extra and all the background characters, a lot of shots where you can see bigger crowds of Who's, in the establishing shots in the streets or at the Whobilation, there were a lot of, let me see if they had an actual number here in my notes. No, I don't have an exact number, but they did make a bunch of digital background Who's so they could sculpt and animate a bunch, hundreds of
Hmm.
different distinct looking characters with different features and different outfits.
Wow. It's funny they did that in the live action. Well, actually, I guess we maybe should have said that. That was a continuation of last
Oh,
week's Grinch
yes.
episode. If you
I
haven't caught on
forgot, but
yet.
I'll cover that in the intro.
But in the original, in the 66 version, they reused a lot of the sequences to save money.
Hmm. Yeah, they tended to
So,
do that a lot back then with animation.
mhm. And even with their huge budget, they still had to do that. But now you look at the 2000, the live action, and you've got 40,000 individually created trees at the
Yeah,
beginning of the movie.
and hundreds of digital Who's,
Who's?
which
Yeah.
I'm sure there was reuse there as well because they're in the
Yeah.
background. Who would know?
Hmm. Who? The Speaking of CGI, there is in the clouds in one of the shots was Horton. The cloud is shaped like
Oh,
Horton.
I don't think I noticed that.
I didn't either until I watched the video that paused it and circled it. Yeah, he's in the
Hmm.
clouds. And when it shows the Christmas countdown,
Yes,
Horton is on
the
top of
the
it.
statue of Horton, yeah.
Hmm.
Which is funny because not only within the lore did Horton discover Whoville, but then also Jim Carrey went on to voice Horton in the 3D animated movie years later.
I did not realize that was him.
Yep. Jim Carrey was Horton and Steve Carell was the mayor, who, as you pointed out
Yeah.
last week, is a much better character in that movie,
Yes, yes, he
or at
is.
least more likable.
Mm. More likable for sure. I feel like he would
Um,
be friends with the Grinch. That mayor could be friends with Grinch.
yeah, at least he would try to be.
Yeah. And we don't even see the mayor. Well, we really don't see the mayor in the first movie or in the new movie. They talk
No,
about the mayor in the new movie, but I wonder why they decided to make the mayor such a big character in the live action.
I don't know. Oh, speaking of going back for a second, speaking of large numbers of things with the trees and all, I don't know if you saw this, but apparently for this movie they used 75 tons of fake snow, about 152,000 pounds worth of crushed marble.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Because they needed something that was gonna look like snow but hold up under the hot studio lights.
Hmm.
And that is enough. If you were to spread it out, it's enough to cover 9 football fields.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
I also saw that snow got under Jim Carrey's contacts.
Oh,
Yeah, and was not pleasant.
I bet it wasn't, especially
Mhm.
considering from what I heard, the contacts were already unpleasant enough.
Yes. And I did see a shot. Um, which scene was it? Now I'm
Are you
blanking on the
thinking of the
scene.
shot in his lair where you can see his regular eyes?
Yes.
Yeah. I think it was when he was screaming about the who's making all the music, if I remember.
But
Somewhere in there, maybe.
I thought it was in his lair, but I couldn't remember what. I gotta go rewatch it again.
Yeah.
My last thing that I have written down, more might come to me, I don't know. But this one, it's been a while since I saw this one. It didn't come up on my research this time, but I
Mhm.
remembered it from a previous time. I don't know how true this is for two reasons. One, it didn't come up in research this time. Granted, I didn't do like hours and hours, but didn't come up in the research this time. And this is not a lifestyle that I'm a part of, so I don't know much about it to begin with. But
Okay.
I did read in the past that the party scene in the beginning with Grinch's moms,
Hmm.
who I always thought were a couple and did not realize they were sisters.
I thought the same thing.
So wow, they're just progressive for 2000. But anyway, I read that you see the bowl with all the
Yeah.
keys. Apparently, that's a swinger party thing.
It's funny you say that because the other night I was talking to my dad about the movie because he had just watched it and I was telling him about all the crazy things that I didn't realize they snuck in. He goes, "Yeah, I mean, the swingers party."
Okay, so I'm not the
So,
only one that
no, it's a thing.
heard about this.
That's definitely what was happening there.
So now, though, knowing that they're sisters makes that extra weird.
Yeah, it definitely does.
To put in a children's movie. I mean, what you do when you're at home time, whatever, you know. You
Yeah.
do you. But
I mean, between Grinch landing outside during a swingers party and that other couple getting the baby delivered, and the husband goes, "He looks just
looks
like your
like your
boss."
boss.
There was definitely some sketchy stuff going down in Whoville
Yes, yes, there was.
50 years before the movie.
Yeah.
Eh, who knows? Maybe the mayor was such a prominent character because he cleaned the place up.
Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah,
Huh.
that one definitely did catch me by surprise.
Mhm.
I did have a few more things about the movie before I get into the other topic I had here. One that I forgot to mention the other day when we were talking about the potential directors and actors
Mhm.
is apparently John Hughes at one point was also considered for director, which is interesting in a way because I really don't even know what that would have been. Because he was the one who
Who?
did a lot of the 80s high school movies like Breakfast Club and
Okay, that's why the name sounds familiar.
yeah. So I don't even know how that would have turned out.
Yeah. I think the way it worked out is probably the best way it could have worked out.
Probably so.
Other than, Mrs. Seuss not wanting any more live actions. Could you imagine
Yeah,
like a live action Horton?
that would be so strange. It would basically be like a similar Whoville with a giant CGI elephant.
I mean, have you seen the new Dumbo?
Yeah, it was
It's a
weird.
little, yeah, it's a little creepy.
A little creepy. And then, of course, let's not forget the possibility of a live action Lorax starring actual physical Danny DeVito,
That would be the best.
wouldn't it?
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah, I would love to see that.
that could honestly, that could be a whole episode in itself. Potential, like hypothetical live action Dr. Seuss
hmm
movies.
And like, at what point do they all meet?
Yeah, because it's got to be a an interconnected cinematic universe
Yes.
nowadays, right?
Yes. It has to be.
Okay, we're gonna have to talk about that some other time.
Yep.
Um, oh, one other small thing that I don't know if we properly mentioned before is we talked a lot about Grinch's costume and makeup and how some of those facts have been out there for years. But makeup was done by Rick Baker. I don't know if I mentioned that originally, and it
Oh.
actually won the Oscar for Best Makeup in 2001.
I did see that. I don't know if we talked about it, but I did see that.
Which honestly, it better have, considering how good it looked and the torture that Jim Carrey and everybody involved in putting it on him went through.
Yes. Yes, you
Because I
are
did hear
right.
that one of the, I think it was one of the makeup artists actually just about quit because of how difficult it was trying to convince Jim Carrey to get back in the makeup when he was having his freakouts, and went on to say that was one of the most stress-inducing jobs of his whole career, which I can
I
understand.
can, yeah, yeah. At least Cindy Lou was giving him chocolate on the side.
Yeah. Well, not the makeup artist, though.
Yeah, not the makeup artist. They should have taken a page out of her book.
Yeah.
No, they would have needed the cigarettes.
Yeah, probably. Speaking of artists and people who helped make the things, I found out that there were over 250 hand-knitted sweaters and outfits made for the movie for all the Who's, and they
Hmm.
were made by three people in just 4 months. It would probably take me 4 months to halfway figure out how to knit one sweater.
Yeah.
So I am thoroughly impressed by that. And they also made 8 identical custom sweaters for the Grinch, which I believe would be the holiday cheermeister sweater, if I'm
Yeah.
thinking
It's got to
correctly.
be all the food he got on it.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could buy one of those.
I was about to tell you, I found it recently, lights and all.
Oh.
But to have, I was actually trying to get it here in time to wear it for this episode, but to get it shipped in time for Christmas, it would have cost me $80. I was like,
In
I want it
shipping or total?
total. It was a
Ah,
$60 sweater. But
done.
but I was like, I want it, but I don't know if I want it that bad right now because I am trying to save for our trip in February.
Yeah.
So I might still get it. We'll see. If I do, we can post about it.
If you do and it's good quality, I should also get one and we can wear that to the parks.
This is true. We should definitely do that if that's the case.
Wouldn't it be fun to meet the Grinch wearing that?
Oh, I would absolutely. I would do that in a heartbeat.
And why do people bring him onions when it would be so much more fun to bring pudding?
Try to stuff a spoonful of who pudding in his
Yes.
mouth. Uh, that would be good.
Yeah. Not for him.
Probably not for him, no. I've only got a few things left on the movie. The sleigh ride scene at the end where the sleigh is going down the side of the mountain was originally filmed on a blue screen, and
Hmm.
there was a second unit team sent to get background footage of some snowy hills in Utah, and they ended up, for a few reasons, mostly the differences in weather between the background footage they shot and what they wanted for the scene and what they had shot on the blue screens, and the fact that Utah obviously has regular looking real world trees as opposed to all the fun, whimsical Seuss designs they had in the rest of the
Hmm.
movie. They decided to scrap the background footage and do the entire scene digitally, including the mountain, the trees, the snow, the sleigh, and apparently in some shots, even Max.
Wow.
Yeah. So that became way more of a task and a headache than they originally planned for.
Sounds like it.
And I think we briefly mentioned this last time, but all the sets were built on the Universal Studios lot. And not only that, but Whoville was actually, at the time, the largest set ever built on the lot.
Cool.
Yeah, which is not surprising considering how elaborate it looked on screen and the
Hmm.
fact that so much of that was real.
Looking at the few pictures that I did look at of it on the back lot was
Hmm.
so odd to see because you look at it and you're like, holy cow, that's Whoville. And it's just like
It's
next to a
just there.
soundstage.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely weird. Um, Also, speaking of sets, I found out that a good chunk of the slope down Mount Crumpet outside of the Grinch's front door was actually physically built, and it was there was some forced perspective miniature work going on
Hmm.
where the Grinch is overlooking the edge of the mountain and Whoville off in the
Hmm.
distance. A lot of that slope was physically built, and they actually made hundreds of miniature trees covered in fake snow and tiny plastic icicles that go all the way down the side of that miniature fake mountain.
Huh.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then I guess further off in the distance, Whoville would have been a digital set
Yeah.
extension.
The forced perspective is so fascinating to me. I was watching it was a documentary on one of the streaming services about I think about old movies
Hmm.
and maybe it was like the movies that built us, something like that. I don't know. Anyway, they used a lot of forced perspective and Elf,
Yeah,
and it was cool to see how they did it.
very similar to the sort of thing they did in Lord of the Rings to make the hobbits look small.
Mm,
Similar things to make Will Ferrell look bigger on set
yep.
or the other elves look tinier.
Hmm.
Like I remember seeing, I'm sure you probably saw this in there, but the shot of whenever they were all in the classroom and he's
Yes.
at his own bigger, he's at his own
Hmm.
desk way in front of the rest of the class so that they all look so much smaller than him. Yeah, that's always been cool. And I mean, they use that in the theme parks a lot as well.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, they do.
the higher parts of Seuss Landing and all of Hogwarts being,
Hmm.
smaller as it goes up.
Yeah, and you know what else? I'm sure they do it in parts of Universal, but in Disney, there's a specific color that they paint the buildings and offices and all that are in the background because it
Yeah, the
just,
green.
yeah, the greenish, bluish. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that is cool. Some of that'll kind of tie into what I'm about to talk about here in a minute, actually.
Well, I can't wait to hear
Got
it.
some, once we get through the rest of the few movie facts that I have some theme park things.
Yes.
Yeah, we can't go too long without talking about the parks on this show,
No,
right?
we cannot.
Let's see. We mentioned the green eggs and ham and the Horton statue, so I can cross those off my list. Um, I know we talked a little bit about the box office numbers from the animated movie as well as this one.
Hmm.
So this one did, I think I had a slight miscalculation or I had the number wrong on my notes last week. It was 346 million, which it was the sixth highest grossing movie of 2000 behind Mission Impossible 2, Gladiator, Castaway, What Women Want, and one of our favorites as kids, Dinosaur.
Oh,
So
it was
Dinosaur
behind
actually,
Dinosaur?
yeah, Dinosaur outperformed the Grinch in 2000, which is
Wow.
surprising to me.
That is that is
And there
surprising.
was there was almost exactly a $200 million difference between Grinch and Mission Impossible 2.
Hmm.
Because Mission Impossible 2 grossed 546 million.
I wonder if that difference between Dinosaur and the Grinch was because in the previews you could see that it was a little bit adult.
Possibly. Yeah, which I'd have to go back and look to see exactly how much more Dinosaur made, but yeah, that did surprise me. But that would
Dinosaur
make sense.
Dinosaur was good, but I wouldn't have expected it to be up there.
No, especially not the way people seem to talk about it looking back on it.
Yeah.
I know most people who aren't nostalgic for it because they grew up with it don't really want anything to do with it.
And they're getting rid of the ride too,
I don't know.
which is I really do like the ride.
I do too. Hopefully, the Indiana Jones replacement will be worth it because
Hmm.
the Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland was pretty cool.
I've never done it. Never been to Disneyland.
I'm also a pretty big Indiana Jones fan, just in general, though. So that kind of wins it some points for me.
Yeah.
The one other movie thing that I wanted to mention is I saw a really funny clip of one of the outtakes from toward the end of the movie. where I guess this is after Grinch brings Christmas back because it was him in the Santa Claus outfit in the sort of the town square area, and he was standing with the mayor, and he had walked up to him. I think he put his hands on his shoulders and leaned in, and he bit the
The
he
nose.
bit his nose, and he ripped it off with his teeth and spit it at the camera. And it was one of the funniest looking outtakes I think I've ever seen because, of course, obviously not everybody, nobody was expecting it. But the best part is with that nose being one, glued on so securely and blended in, and two, the fact that it was foam rubber. He leaned in and bit it. And he pulled back and it
Yeah.
stretched about this far before it broke. It looked like something out of a cartoon.
I bet the makeup people were not thrilled with him.
Oh, I'm sure for a lot of, even his own makeup and his frustrations aside, yeah, the fact that he went
Mhm.
and did that and then they had to
Hopefully, hopefully it was the end of the day and they were done shooting.
hopefully close to just the end of shooting as a whole,
Yeah.
I would hope.
Yeah.
But yeah, funny, but I'm sure there were definitely some people, cursing under their breath and
Oh, yeah.
probably chewed him out afterward.
Mhm.
But that is pretty much a wrap on the Grinch movie talk, I think, unless you have anything.
That was all I had.
Okay. So, the other thing that I've been super excited to share with you, I don't know how much you've heard about this, is how Grinch has sort of been around and potentially could have been around more in the theme parks.
Hmm. How so?
Because we've talked a good bit about Grinchmas, especially in
Hmm.
our parks around or Christmas around the globe episode. But aside from just having the Grinchmas celebration, which started in 2000 alongside the release of the movie, there actually, for several years there, was a Grinch's Lair walkthrough attraction where you could go basically inside the set of Grinch's Lair from the movie, which is where the Seuss trolley ride is now. Because that
Oh,
opened in 2006 after they shut down the walkthrough. I couldn't find much on it as far as any pictures or video of any or anything, unfortunately. But it seems like a really neat idea, and I wish they would still do something like that.
yeah, that would be really cool. I mean, I love the Seuss
Yeah.
trolley ride, but that'd be real cool.
Yeah, and it was just a seasonal thing. They'd just bring it out every year around
Mhm.
Grinchmas. So it would be neat if they could still do that.
Yeah. I wonder if they still have the set or if they've torn everything down at this point.
No idea, because I mean, I was surprised to hear they had kept all of Whoville for 20 years, so
Hmm.
anything's possible.
Yeah, you never know.
But beyond the walkthrough, the other thing that I thought was really interesting is ever since the movie, there was talk of a Grinch roller coaster or a ride of some kind being added to Seuss Landing. And I think pretty obviously the go-to idea was Mount Crumpet,
Yeah.
a roller coaster where you're in the sleigh going down the mountain.
Hmm.
And there were a few different approaches to that that were kind of thrown out there and, talked about and tossed around over the years. So I watched a video from e-ticket archives on YouTube. It was really interesting and covered it fairly well. There's not a whole lot of concrete information out there beyond just, this is what they were sort of talking about at the time. There aren't really any patents or anything to go off of, just a lot of speculation or things, people claim they heard from people involved with the parks.
Hmm.
But they were planning it early on after Islands of Adventure opened. They were looking at expanding anywhere they possibly could. And apparently there is a little bit of land behind Cat in the Hat. And so that's where they were talking potentially putting it. Um, so it was going to be a Mount Crumpet themed coaster. They were thinking at one point maybe it would be a bobsled style ride similar
Hmm.
to the Matterhorn at Disneyland. So they went through a few different iterations of design for that, but basically the idea was that it would be kind of thrilling, but still be a family coaster, so it wouldn't have any inversions or anything like that, so it wouldn't be too intense.
Mhm.
And you'd go around the mountain, end up inside the mountain in Grinch's lair, kind of dodging past all of his inventions and things. And eventually you'd end up back outside and plummet down the mountain toward Whoville,
That would be a
which
fun
sounds
ride.
it sounds really cool to me. I wish we could see that.
Yes.
And at one point there was a plan to base it on a ride from Busch Gardens in Williamsburg called Verbolten, which had a
Mhm.
combination of outdoor coaster sections that were more intense and thrilling,
Mhm.
some indoor sort of dark ride show scenes, and a surprise drop section,
Hmm.
which keep that in mind for later. Another version that they had talked about was potentially something a little bit more scenic, kind of inspired by Thunder Mountain Railroad at Disney, where it would be, the sleighs moving through snowy cliffs all around the mountain, and the sleigh would weave through parts of Whoville, where you would see houses and buildings and things going past you on the hills, and end up at the peak of the mountain. Then, the big kind of finale of the ride would be dropping down the side of it. And there was even speculation at one point that the ride could potentially connect Islands of Adventure to studios,
Huh.
that it would board in Seuss Landing. You'd go through the whole ride experience and then end up near what used to be the Blue Man Group Theater. I don't know why exactly or what the purpose for that would be, but apparently this talk was around the time that they realized that the Hogwarts Express was really working, and they liked the idea of
Mhm.
possibly having another ride to connect the parks.
That would be cool, but I don't know. Yeah.
It's interesting in theory, but I don't know if I actually like it. Like it doesn't make a ton of
Yeah.
sense.
No, it doesn't. And especially with there not being anything Seuss themed there.
Yeah, it's like why does it go there? How do you justify putting it anywhere near like the Rip Ride Rocket area or
Hmm.
whatever that would have ended up being?
Yeah.
It would
Hmm.
feel out of place, I think,
Yeah, it would. Unless they were adding some kind of Seuss stuff to that area of the park, but
which I don't think would have ever been the plan.
no. And I mean, later on, now that um, Minions is there, they could, if
It
they
could there could
wanted
be
to,
an
I guess, do an
illumination
elimination.
tie-in,
Yeah. But I still, I don't know that that's the Hogwarts Express will and does draw people in to buy park to park tickets. I don't know that that ride would.
I don't know either. And the Hogwarts Express just fits so perfectly with the theming of the two lands. It makes sense for it to exist. It doesn't make
Yes.
sense for a Grinch coaster to connect the two parks.
No.
And then what does that mean? You can only ride it if you have a park to park ticket, or does it let some people off at studios and then circle back around to islands? I think maybe the reason that
Yeah.
didn't go anywhere is because they didn't quite think through.
No. Yeah.
They just liked the idea of
No.
maybe we can connect the two.
Hmm. Hmm.
So interesting, but
Yeah.
probably for the best that it didn't happen that way.
Yeah. Speaking of Seuss rides, a ride I would love to see is Mrs. Kwan.
It took me a second
Watching your face go from completely clueless to it finally clicking was great.
because, like I told you, I it has been so much longer for me since I've seen Cat in the Hat versus
Mm.
how long it's been since I had seen Grinch up until last week. Like I
Yeah.
probably have not watched Cat in the Hat in at least 10 years.
Oh my gosh. I
Partly because that one was more, adult than Grinch was, and my family, especially my mom, was more in the camp of like, yeah, maybe the kids shouldn't watch this one as often.
I had to beg my mom that when that movie came out, we still had the video store up the road, not the Blockbuster,
Hmm.
because I didn't live in a like Blockbuster nice type of area. But we had the corner video store, and we go up
Uh,
there, and I was so excited for it to come out. So we went like we did on Friday nights, and he was just putting it back, not back, but putting it into the case for the video store.
mhm.
Same thing happened with Harry Potter, by the way. I showed up the day he was putting them out to get the movie. But anyways, putting like, Mom, please, please, please. This is why we came. And the video store guy is telling my mom, is like, just so you know, this is kind of an adult movie. And
Oh,
me, a little, how old was I? Like first grade, am
yeah.
arguing with the video store man, saying, no, it's Dr. Seuss. I can watch it. It's the Cat in the Hat. You don't understand. And I'm trying to argue with the video store guy. Um,
Uh,
and finally, my mom's like, okay, we'll get it. But if it's too inappropriate, we're turning it off.
well, did y'all make it through the whole movie that night?
Yes.
Okay.
Um,
I figured maybe she would have turned it off at Dirty Ho.
yeah. Maybe without the actual tool, she would have. The part they were actually the part I specifically remember them talking about at the video store counter was when he pulls out the picture of oh geez, why am I blanking on her name? The mom,
Hmm.
Joan.
Yeah.
Joan. When he pulls out the picture of Joan. Um, yeah, that there's I specifically remember him telling her about that scene. And she just kind of looks at me like, Mom, it's the Cat in the Hat. It's fine.
Like, I've been reading
Trust
this book for
me.
years. Come on, there's
Yeah,
nothing dirty in it.
nothing. Yeah, but we got it and watched it and um yeah, then most of the times I watched it after that, though I will say it's not a movie she let me rent often.
Mm.
But one of my best friends at the time had parents that really they were very loosey-goosey. And she had the movie on VHS.
Okay, I'm sure you loved
So,
that.
yes, so we frequently, and that is when I learned the movie word for word. She and I would sit there and watch it and just say all the words.
That is how much you love that movie is one of my favorite things. Like, I barely even remember the movie, but I love how much you love it. I think one of these days, what's going to have to happen is I'm going to have to rewatch it, and we're going to have to do an episode like this about that movie.
Yes, we should. Um, and while we're on that movie,
Oh, before you
let's.
do get into what you're going to get into, just so you know, I forgot to tell you, we've got about a minute and a half left.
Oh, okay. Good
So,
timing,
do you
I
want to,
guess.
if you want to switch over,
Um,
we can get back into it, or
yeah, I know, I mean, this is just a quick thing.
okay.
The one guy, oh, you know, the guy that plays Lawrence, he shot a guy on accident.
Oh, Alec Baldwin. Yeah,
Yes, that one.
I
Um,
hate that. That's how I.
I do not like him as an
Hmm.
actor. I will avoid movies if he is in the movie, but
Okay.
Cat in the Hat, I think, is the perfect. Lawrence is his role.
I vaguely remember him being in that movie.
Yeah. Beetlejuice too, because he was a whole different person in
Oh,
Beetlejuice. I don't even
yeah.
count. That's not Alec Baldwin. That's it beats Beetlejuice.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
All right. Well, you want to switch?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
Where am I? Oh, there I
Hey,
am.
hey. Yeah.
Hey,
Sorry, it took me a minute. As soon as we got off, the baby came running in here.
I had a feeling something happened.
Man. But yeah, I would love to ride the Quan ride. And I think you know what they could do? They could turn Dudley Do Right into the Quan.
Okay, I think I'd want to see that just because I'd want to see your reaction to riding that ride.
I would love to ride that ride. And
Like, I
there's
don't even know if like I don't even know if anybody else but you would be as excited as you are about that ride, but for me that's enough. I'd want to see you ride that ride.
You're probably right. I'm probably me and my childhood friend who used to watch the movie on
Yes.
repeat with me. Um, yeah, well, even if you're not a big fan of the movie, I think it would be a cool ride. I don't know how much of it you remember, but you're going through
Not much.
like the house at this point is mixed with real world and Seuss world. So
Hmm.
everything's just kind of crazy. There's fire coming out of the toilet and they're riding on her through the house basically and seeing all of the crazy worlds combined. Um, and then there's a drop. And then he plugs Universal Studios and they say something like this is just like a ride in an amusement park is what Conrad says. And then the cat holds up the tickets and he's like, oh, you mean like at Universal Studios? And everything paused, like the ride, everything paused,
Uh,
and he holds up the tickets and does this
that
little
does
spiel.
sound kind of familiar. Some of it's coming back to me now. I really am gonna have to
Uh,
watch it this weekend.
oh, you're gonna have to. Yes,
Okay, so now Universal has two rides they have to build or retheme
at least,
at
at
least.
least two.
Because honestly, I do feel like Seuss Landing could use a little more
Yes,
and a fresh coat of paint.
yes, yes, very much.
The colors are a lot more vibrant in the books than they are, 20 years in the
Mhm.
Orlando sun.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious to see. Well, first of all, I want to look back at some pictures and see what it looked like when they first built it. Were the colors bright
Yeah.
then, and did they fade, or have they always kind of been this way? Because they've repainted things over the years, but it's still not all that bright.
Yeah, that's true. It'll be
But
interesting to see.
on that similar note, I'm wondering what the whole Mario area is going to look like in a few years.
Yeah, because you were telling me that some of it's already fading, right?
Yeah.
And it's only been open 6 months.
Yeah. And my brother just got back a couple days ago, and I want to ask him a little more. When I talked to him, they were like, just getting back and exhausted. So I want to
Mm,
call him again and see his feedback because when he went with us, it was when it was still not like officially open. It was the
previews,
preview,
yeah.
yeah. And this is his first time going since it has officially opened. So I'm curious to
Okay.
see what he thought Velocicoaster and we haven't ridden either of these and Stardust Racers. He liked Velocicoaster better
Hmm.
than
Okay.
Stardust, which I was
I
surprised
am
by.
I'm really eager to ride both of those and see what I think and which one I prefer.
Mhm. Yeah, me too. And then we have to redo ride rankings.
Yes, we will. Definitely have to include all the epic rides.
Yeah,
Speaking of rides, I do have a couple more things about the potential Grinch ride before we get too far away from that.
yeah, let's hear it.
So part of the reason that it didn't happen was because there wasn't really enough space, like realistically, reasonably, there wasn't enough space to expand and do that. Because if they had put it behind Cat in the Hat and taken the amount of space they would need to make a ride like that, they'd be pushing right up against the back of house area for the restaurants and City Walk, which would
Hmm.
be very expensive to make all that happen and have to move things around. And
Yeah.
so that was a big part of it. And then another thing that I hadn't really thought about, because I'm just like, oh yeah, Jim Carrey Grinch ride, it's awesome, that would be perfect, is realistically, if they keep it as dark and, slightly teetering on adult as the movie was, it doesn't really fit in with Seuss Landing. But then if they go more the animated route and make it fit in with Seuss Landing, then at that point, it's not even a Jim Carrey live action Grinch ride.
No, no.
It would have clashed either with the rest of the park or wouldn't have been true to what they wanted it to be. So I
Yeah.
think, unfortunately, it makes sense that it didn't go anywhere. And the other thing being the strained relationship after said Cat in the Hat movie with Seuss's estate and his family.
Yeah.
And trying to get a new ride off the ground would have been a massive uphill battle.
Oh, yeah. They were not going to have any part in that.
Yeah. And then on top of that, the Wizarding World projects being, you know, up and running and then being full swing on those around the 2010s
Mhm.
and all their money and time going toward that also made that less likely. Now that they had a big expansion that was going to draw crowds and bring in more money and all that, they didn't have to worry about Grinch as much.
Well, if I had to choose between the two, Harry Potter was the better choice.
A Mount Crumpet ride sounds fun, but I'd rather be able to live in the Wizarding World for a few hours.
Yes. Yes.
And speaking of Wizarding World, the last little thing that sort of ties in is remember how I mentioned that Busch Gardens ride had indoor and outdoor sections and a surprise drop?
Hmm.
It sounds to me like the ideas and the DNA of the Grinch ride kind of spiritually lives on in Hagrid's.
Yeah. I was thinking that when you were talking about it at the very beginning, that it does feel similar to what they may have had in mind.
Yeah. I think in a similar way to what you hear sometimes about Disney Imagineering, it's like if they've really got a good idea, even if it doesn't come together the way they thought, it's not
Hmm.
going to get scrapped. It'll just get repurposed down the road.
Yeah.
Like a good idea never really dies, you know?
Did you um did you read anything on when the contract is up for Seuss Landing?
I have not, but now that you mention it, I'm curious. Let me look
Yeah,
that
me
up.
too. I wonder what might happen to it when that ends, if they're going to renew or what. Hmm. Recent construction permits for specialty equipment in that area expire on February 28th, 2026, but this refers to maintenance, not contract termination.
Hmm.
Uh, the AI overview in Google is telling me that the information is not publicly available, but I don't always trust that because it also told me nobody died on Stardust Racers.
And it also told us that the boat ride from the hotel was on par with the Hogwarts
Right.
Express. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to let that one go.
Oh, that was a good one.
Uh, that was. Yeah, I'm having a hard time really finding anything concrete anywhere, even outside of the AI summary.
Um, well, you know what though? I don't see it changing anytime soon because if it was, they likely wouldn't be taking on the project of Lost Continent.
That's true. They're probably going to be focusing on that first.
Hmm. So if whatever agreement they have with this um was coming soon, they wouldn't have even started on Lost Continent, I don't think.
No, I think you're right. And they've also got, seems like pretty near future plans for Epic as well.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be a while before
Hmm.
they do anything with that or Marvel Superhero Island, which I also don't think they want to touch because they know as long as they have it, it keeps those characters out of Disney's hands.
Yep. Yes, it does. And I do like the nostalgic feeling of both of those lands, Superhero Island especially, because
Hmm.
they've kept up with it.
They have. They've kept up with them, but they also feel like time capsules of
Hmm.
when they were made in a
Yeah,
good way.
in a good way.
Like I know we talked about things like Jurassic Park feeling a little outdated in places, and yeah, but I think especially with the idea that like Superhero Island and Seuss Landing feel very intentionally set in a certain time period,
Yeah,
or maybe less so for Seuss Landing because it's more the style of the books. But especially with Superhero Island, it's so intentionally in your face 90s comic book that it
yeah,
works as long as as long as they keep the paint fresh.
yeah, exactly. But, I do wonder if in the future, especially now that there are was it two or three? Three, no, what was Horton Illuminations?
Um, maybe. Let me see.
Lorax was, right?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah, because I remember one of the little bears coming out for the Illumination logo in the beginning.
Yep. So if all three, you have Grinch, Lorax, and Horton, all Illuminations, I wonder if at some point they're gonna, 'cause didn't they talk about doing a whole Illuminations area in studios since they've
Um,
started expanding the minions?
I think that was a thing at some point. Horton Hears a Who was not Illumination. That was
Oh,
20th Century Fox Animation and Blue Sky,
okay.
who did Ice Age,
Mm.
who I think is not around anymore.
Well, I wonder, I think it would be kind of cool just because it would be neat to have a refresh if they expanded and updated the Seuss area to the Illuminations
That style, sort of.
style. Yeah.
Yeah, because it still feels very Dr. Seuss. The
Hmm.
character designs mostly are just sort of updated.
Yeah. And, I mean, I think the original is the best. The way they are in the books, I think beats Illuminations. But if that would give us an expansion or an update, I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Also, in terms of keeping it relevant, especially in terms of like as far as marketing to the kids, they want to show
Hmm.
them the thing that they're seeing on screen nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the Grinch they're seeing on screen is very different from the Grinch they're meeting at Islands.
Yeah, a lot of them, I would be surprised if they even know why Grinch looks the way he
Yeah.
does. I'm sure most of those kids probably will not grow up watching the live action Cat in the Hat as well.
No. And you know what's nuts to think about? We're getting old, and that's the problem.
Not this
The
again.
the Grinch came out, the live action Grinch came out before my brother was born.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
That movie's 3 years older than my brother.
Yeah, and it's 4 years older than my brother. And it doesn't feel like it's been that long.
It really doesn't.
So I'm fortunately our age group is very hooked on it, very attached to it.
So
So
I don't think they're really going to let it die anytime soon because
no.
there are still people who want to see it.
Yes. Yes.
Speaking of them making changes though with the Illumination stuff, have you seen the trailer for Cat in the Hat yet? I know I talked to you about it maybe a few months ago when it came out. I mentioned it, but
Mm-mm.
it, I want to like it. There are aspects of it that seem really fun. Like it seems like it has a little bit of that sort of mean spiritedness to it in moments. Like the cat shows up at the house and he gets pepper sprayed,
Hmm.
which is fun. And there's stuff where they kind of build on the world in ways that I'm like, maybe this is cool, maybe it's not, because
Mm.
Cat is walking around this whole facility before he gets sent out on the mission to go be with the kids. And there's a bunch of animals and creatures with red and white striped things. Like there's a yak with a pack, a rat with a bat, there was a bug in a mug. I'm like, that's maybe fun, but also maybe too much because I kind of like the Cat in the Hat being his own weird, sort of mysterious thing.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then there were some moments I thought were really funny. Like there was a point where some of the other characters in that place are talking about how the cat supposedly lost 3 giraffes on his last mission, and you see news footage of a giraffe. There's, fire in the streets and people running crazy, and the news
Hmm.
reporter is like, there are giraffes on the loose, and one of them stampedes over somebody. And then Cat shows up, he peeks his head up from behind a wall and goes, actually, it was 5, and he disappears. I'm like, that's kind of funny. But then there was a scene later on in the trailer where I'm assuming it was his boss, this odd-looking character, is talking to him over the phone on a video call and says, Cat, you have gone too far this time. And Cat goes, I'm sorry, did you just say toot fart? Because I heard toot fart. He says, no, too far. And Cat goes, I'm still hearing toot fart. And that's where I'm like, okay, there's the baby humor.
Mhm. Yeah, that's
Yeah, you
something
had me and you lost me.
that would have had me too, though. I would have cracked up at that.
It went on a little too long for my
Mm,
taste. I was like, okay, they did it. It could have been funny, but they dragged it out. It went on longer than what I explained
yeah.
there.
Mm, dang. Well, I'm not gonna get my hopes up.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll probably watch it because I'm curious,
Yeah.
but I'm just expecting an Illumination movie.
Mm, yeah. They're cute,
Yeah,
but they're for kids. There's no adult humor in any
no.
of them.
I mean, maybe a little bit more in Despicable Me, a little
Yeah.
bit, but definitely not at any of the Seuss ones. I mean, I think
No.
they've put their foot down pretty hard on not
Yeah.
letting that happen again.
Hmm. Yeah, they have. But even I mean, when you look at, and I know it's DreamWorks, it's not Illuminations, but when you look at Shrek versus
Yeah,
Minions,
oh, totally different energy.
yes, yeah, and
Which that's another thing that actually has me a little scared is the new Shrek sequel. Like I hope that it's
there's another Shrek.
yeah, there's gonna be a Shrek 5 and
Oh
I
my
believe
gosh.
I think Zendaya is playing one of the kids who's grown up and
Hmm. Oh, what happened in there? All I hear is you deserve it now. You can have whatever you want.
I guess my first question is he talking to one of the dogs or one of the kids?
One of the kids.
Okay.
Definitely not the dogs.
Uh, I was like, man, Rocket's really turning it around right before Christmas, trying to get
Yeah.
in good with Santa,
He's trying. No, he's not even trying.
huh?
He's not even trying. He's menacing.
Ugh.
Menacing. Uh, yeah. Anyway, well, did we have anything else on Grinch, or did we completely
Um,
derail, or are we
we
good to?
derailed, which is fine, but yeah, I think we've got a whole 20 minutes left.
Wow.
But I do have one other fun kind of side note. I saw a video that I had never, something I hadn't considered until I heard this woman say it on YouTube this morning, and then it really hit me like a bus. Was essentially the idea that everything is all Grinchmas this year for Christmas. We talked about Hobby Lobby is
Mhm.
all over it. There's the trees and the stockings. And like I just bought myself these Grinch shirts because it came in
Mhm.
a 3-pack, so I have three Grinch shirts now.
Wow.
Walmart has all the Grinch's back Christmas decorations,
Mhm.
everything else going on. And she said, you know who the one person is who would be really disappointed in all of us for all of this is the Grinch. That
Yes.
if not, that more than anything, we all really need a Grinch to come down here from his mountain and yell at us about the over commercialization and consumerism of Christmas this year, because really, he's the one who would not stand for all of his this and his face being plastered all over everything.
You are right. She is right.
And that really hit home for me and made me rethink a lot of things.
Did it make you rethink buying a 3-pack of Grinch shirts?
I had already bought the 3-pack of Grinch shirts and they were already on their way. I'm not mad that I own a Grinch shirt, but I think I'm going to let that be the extent of it. Also, I only even like two of the three Grinch shirts.
Ah, bummer. I'm gonna switch out my headphones real quick.
Okay.
I don't know which side is right or left or if it matters, but
Do I sound backwards?
holy cow.
Oh, too
It is
loud?
loud.
Oh,
All
I'm
right.
sorry. I know that hurt and I know it shouldn't be funny, but that really just caught me off guard.
Well, it wasn't your fault. I should have
Okay.
tested them first. Wow. Okay, so for reference, before when I had on these, my old ones that I've always used, you were
Hmm.
at 100 volume, full max volume. Now you are at 40.
Oh, okay. So clearly the new headphones go up a little louder.
They do go up a little louder. Yeah. Go all the way over my ears. This is
Nice.
this is interesting. I'm moving up in the world. I got new.
Yeah.
And these aren't even new fancy headphones. They came with the keyboard that we bought to play with the kids.
Okay.
But I can't give it to them because it has a cord.
Oh, yeah. Well, Merry
Yeah.
Christmas to you, I
Merry
guess.
Christmas to me. I get the leftovers. I'll take it.
Yeah. They're still new to you, right?
Hmm. They are, and they are loud.
Apparently so. We did figure that out.
Yeah, it's the hard way. Hmm.
But but yeah, so I got the three Grinch shirts. I have this one which is all Grinch green color. It says feeling Grinchy with him with his hat. And then the other one that I like is a darker green and it's got him on a pair of skis with his bag full of presents on his back and it says I'm only here for the presents. Which I like that.
Mhm.
The only other one that I'm not a fan of is a black shirt that's got in kind of a weird font. It says Grinchy Trick on it.
Hmm.
And it's got like the Grinchy is in green, and I think he is the sea, and it's him all curled up. And Trick is made out of like a present box and a snowman and different Christmassy things. And, it's just not my taste.
Yeah, that's odd.
Yeah.
Hmm. I would, I'm so sad. I bought my Grinch shirt several years ago from the parks,
Hmm.
and I love it, and it's so comfy, but it's a spirit jersey, and the words on those things crack after a while, and it's been a
Yeah.
while, so they're cracked, and it's it's time for a new one, I guess.
What's it say on it?
And it says Merry Grinchmas
Okay,
across the
because I'm
back, and
just
then
thinking,
has the Grinch here on the front.
I do have a Cricut vinyl cutter, and I know where to get that puffy vinyl that does that. We could always replace the letters on the shirt.
I didn't know that was puffy vinyl.
Yeah, there's a vinyl that you heat up
Huh.
and it puffs like that. Like even when whether it's the letters or if you see a shirt that's got a logo that's a little bit raised and does the same sort of crackly thing. Yeah, it's a vinyl.
Huh.
Yeah. And you can get it in all
Cool.
different colors.
Huh. All right. I got new ideas now.
Now you're like, let's make our own spirit
Let's make
jerseys.
our own, yeah.
Ooh, which honestly, I say that half joking, and now I'm like, ooh, Adventure Lives On spirit jersey?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Ooh.
Yep. Oh, and hold on. Before we get too far from Grinch, I don't know if I told you about this little guy. He's naked. Okay, so I'm gonna cover him up. Nick printed him for me. Can you see? Is he too
You
bright?
did mention him. That is very cute.
Um, but
I
yeah,
also
he's just
just love the fact that you're like he's naked, so I'm gonna censor it. It's
it's the
like I
Grinch
was a
for
little
people listening and not watching.
I was a little worried that there was gonna be something to see.
Nah, just a Grinch. Our little
Plus, I
Grinch.
mean, that look on his face says you should be covering me up.
And he has a little hat too. I mean,
Oh,
he didn't print the hat, but there is a hat in the
a little
file that
Santa
you can
hat.
print. Yeah, a little Santa hat. But I
That's
think
cute.
Nick didn't have the red or something in there.
He's
But
got like his face is so cute and so angry at the same
at the
time. I
same time,
love it.
I know. So I think my light have is just so harsh. You can't. There
Yeah.
we go.
It's a little
Wait.
better. Yeah, we're gonna have
This.
to post a picture of him somewhere on the Instagram, probably. Put it on
I'll
Facebook as well.
put him up here. I still have to take a picture for like before we get off today to
Yeah.
post. So I'll keep him up there when I take the picture.
Okay, perfect. Oh, yeah, now
Oh,
you've
he's
got me on
cute.
this idea of the spirit jerseys. That would be cool. Now
That would be
I'm over
cool.
here smiling like the Grinch. I'm like, ooh, we have an
Mm.
idea.
A wonderfully awful idea.
Yes.
Wonder
Ooh,
how
we
much.
should make those in time for our park trip.
Yes, we should. Um, we might have a another friend tagging along.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
What's the
Um,
situation there?
just for fun.
Okay, but I mean,
'Cause
who's interested?
oh, PJ, the one I used to work with, that I think I told you about before.
Maybe.
She's been wanting to go to Universal with me for forever. But she took care of her mom for a long
Understandable.
time. Yeah, we're fun to go with. She was taking care of her mom for a really long time, and 10-minute warning.
Okay.
And
Oh,
her
okay.
mom passed away a couple of years ago. So now
Oh,
she's like, whenever you want to go, I want to go.
okay.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah, I'm good with
she's
that.
cool. She's fun, and we can get Spirit jerseys on Amazon for $25, blank
Ooh.
ones.
What we can maybe do then, if we figure out our design, you tell me what size you need. I can have them both shipped here and do the vinyl and then bring them with me.
Yeah, this one's only $16.
Mm.
It looks thinner though. All right, I'm excited now. Um,
Yeah, looks like we've got ourselves a mini project to
yeah, we do.
do next year.
Yeah, we do. There's a Christmassy looking one too. It's green on the top and then green and white plaid on the bottom.
Hmm. Okay. So we could do our own Grinchmas ones.
Hmm. And then sell them and then get sued by Universal.
Excellent plan. I see no flaws.
None.
Yeah, I guess along those lines, though, if anybody would be interested in that sort of thing, let us know.
Jake's your
You know,
guy.
you can leave a comment on Instagram or Facebook or mention it if you leave a review on the podcast on
Yeah,
Apple or Spotify or wherever you're listening. If that's something anyone would be interested in, we could see about getting some of those made.
I got another idea.
Okay.
All right. We airbrush and puffy words
Hmm.
on the same shirt.
Okay.
Do you still have the airbrush thing? Have you practiced it?
Yeah.
Because I remember the first time we
It's
attempted that, we had
it
fun.
was
We
rough.
had fun.
It was fun, but it was definitely it was a journey.
It was a journey. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have a better airbrush now and a better
Mm.
compressor. I haven't played with it in a while, but I'm a little better with it, so yeah, we could figure something out.
Yeah. We have one too, but we don't have fabric paint for it. I'd have to buy some. We have
Hmm.
just regular, as for Nick's prints.
Okay. Yeah, which I mean, regular acrylic would work. You could still put that through the airbrush just fine, but as long as it's thinned down a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm
But yeah,
excited about this.
we can play with the airbrush too.
Get like a white shirt and do airbrush. Can you do the cricket over the airbrush?
Yeah, because
Hmm.
you just have to iron on the vinyl. You know, you do the cricket and cut out the letters, put just the letters on the shirt, stick them to it, and iron it on. So we
Uh,
could either do that over the airbrush, or we could do that and airbrush around it, possibly. I mean, I know you might get it on the.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll have to play with it because
we'll
it could
play
be
with it.
something where we maybe do the actual words of the logo in the puffy vinyl, and then we draw the compass and the circle and all in the airbrush.
Yeah, I'm getting
Ooh.
excited now. This is gonna be
Me
fun.
too. Yeah, we got some ideas to
Yeah.
play with. I don't know. Do we keep this in or should we
Yeah,
save this and see how it turns out first
I know.
before we get anybody's expectations up?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if uh, they're disappointed, we'll be disappointed too. So we can all be disappointed together.
Yeah, that's what this community's for,
Yeah,
right?
right. And they'll be one of a kind designs.
Yes, it would be. Very rare, limited
Yes,
edition,
yeah,
two
there
of
you
two.
go. Two of two. Made to order. Who
Man.
wants one? Madison. We're gonna have one entry. It'll be Madison.
Fake laugh hiding real pain.
That's all right. You win some, you lose
Eh,
some.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll
We'll
get
figure
there.
it out.
Yeah. We'll have fun along the way.
This whole thing is just a process. It's an adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the name.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I really am still blown away by the fact that not only is this year almost over, but that we've hit 20 episodes at this point.
Yes. 20 episodes. So actually, maybe now is an okay time for this. Um, episode 20, we hopefully have some people who have listened to a few of the episodes and not just one and never came back. Um,
It's hard to get data, but I would hope we at least have a few consistent listeners.
yes, I hope so. So anyone who is listening who enjoys this or doesn't enjoy it, uh, we would love feedback because we're very new to this and we are not natural speakers or natural podcasters by any
Not at
means.
all. We're still figuring this out a step at a time.
Yes, very
Just
much.
kind of making it up as we go.
Yes.
So it would be nice to get some idea of what people like that we're doing, what you don't like, or what you might want to see in the future.
Mhm.
Give us ideas for potential new episode topics or things
Uh,
like that.
and this is our last episode of the year, right? All
Yes.
right, cool. So
So this
episode
one's coming out
20,
after Christmas.
last week of 2025, we are starting season 2 in 2026 and it's going to be a little different than
Yes.
what we've done so far. It's going to be
A little bit more focused, fingers
yes,
crossed.
fingers crossed. A little more focused and more similar to what we've done with episode 1 of the Grinch, or part 1, I guess, of the Grinch, and the Universal Monsters episode. So more
Mhm.
deep dives, more information, and of course, still the random sidebar wherever the conversation takes us. But
It wouldn't be us without a little bit of that.
exactly. But a lot more, what we're planning is going to be a lot more research based conversations. And
Yeah.
obviously, our opinion's still going to fall
More
in there, but more
things
research
like
based.
more behind the scenes on the movies that are tied to the parks and
Yes.
history of different rides and
Hmm.
things.
Yeah. Excited for that.
Yeah, so that's just some of what to look forward
Hmm.
to for 2026.
And beyond.
Something about the way you said that makes me feel like I need to follow it up with like a ooh.
Ghostly swoosh.
Yes.
If you got that reference, you're in the right place.
Oh, definitely. Man, speaking of that, I feel like I could use a cup of coffee right now.
Well, Nick told me to make one before we started recording because I've been so tired. I've been sick, like most of the week. And finally
Yeah.
today I'm feeling better. Yesterday it was
Oh,
terrible.
good.
But I'm finally feeling better. And he's like, well, just go make yourself some coffee before you record. You want me to be up all night? Because I will be up all night.
I will say one thing though, it probably would be a fun episode if you make yourself a cup of coffee right before.
It will be a delusional episode.
Maybe we do that for the week of our Cat in the Hat deep dive.
Yeah.
Get ourselves all hopped up on caffeine and be like, all right, let's talk about this, absolute trip of a
You know
movie.
what might be fun to do at some point is
Hmm.
a morning episode,
Oh,
like on a
like
Saturday
get
morning
up
or
early
Sunday
on a
morning.
Saturday
Yeah.
morning with a cup of coffee and some breakfast and
Hmm.
just some kind of nice, slow, easygoing sort of episode.
Yeah,
That does sound like a nice time.
it
Yeah.
does.
Maybe I'll even take my laptop out back
Oh, that'd be
if we got good
nice.
weather.
Yeah. We do that in the springtime.
Well, that is it for this episode, for Season 1 of The Adventure Lives On, and for 2025. We're so excited for everything we have coming in 2026, and we hope you will be too. But until then, thank you so much to everybody who's been listening these past several months. And as always, keep living the adventure.